This is Kyle from TrueStory.fm. I'm going to tell you two things about myself. One, I love making podcasts. And two, I hate commercials. And yet, here I am caught between those two opposing forces. I'm sure you've noticed, but the world is getting more expensive. And that goes for the nuts and bolts of making podcasts, too. Equipment, server fees, website hosting, it's costing more and more to do the thing I love. Which brings me to you. By becoming a member, you can help us keep making cool stuff. $5 a month gets you access to your own private feed full of early access, ad-free shows, plus exclusive stuff just for our insiders. That's less than the cost of a Happy Meal at McDonald's. Plus, no commercials. I don't want to be saying this any more than you want to be hearing it, so a quick way to shut me up would be to clickety-clack those keys over to truestory.fm/join and find out how you can help us out. Now, go do something nice for yourself.
Before we dive in, here's another show you can enjoy in the True Story FM family of entertainment podcasts.
Hey, psst. Hey, you see that Snickers over there? If no one's looking, you should just take it.
No! Don't listen to him, my son. That would be stealing, and stealing is a sin.
Sin Schmin, it's a friggin' Snickers bar. You deserve to have it. Sinning really satisfies you.
Repent, my child. Virtue is the only real snack worth savoring. For that candy bar is merely a gateway to nougat damnation. Has this ever happened to you?
Listening to the devil on one shoulder and an angel on the other, and you're not sure what to think?
Then we're here to help. I'm Pete Wright.
And I'm Tommy Metz III, and this season on All the Feelings, we're examining the 7 deadly sins.
You know, the fun ones.
And the 7 heavenly virtues.
Which are also a thing. Through personal stories, historical oddities, and way too much embarrassment, we take you on a thrilling journey through all the goods and the bads you hear about in church.
But without all that pesky church stuff. So come join us for All the Feelings Season 9, a sometimes funny podcast about being human. All the sins, all the virtues.
All in one place. Go to allthefeelings.fun to learn more, or subscribe to All the Feelings wherever you get your podcasts.
Game over.
Horror movies get a bad rap. They're cheap thrills, mindless gore, not cinema, blah, blah, blah.
But we here at Sitting in the Dark know better. We know that horror is more than just jump scares and chainsaws. It's a reflection of our deepest fears, our anxieties, Okay, and there's a lot of jump scares and chainsaws.
Join us, Pete Wright, Tommy Metz III, Kyle Olson, and Keenan Diaz, as we cut into the dark heart of horror cinema.
Every episode, we explore a different facet of the genre, from survival horror to home invasions, from zombies to birds. We tickle the tropes, analyze the angles, and sharpen our own axes along the way.
We'll introduce you to the classics that shaped the genre.
And the modern masterpieces that are pushing the boundaries of terror.
Sitting in the Dark is your guide to navigating the terrifying, thrilling, and sometimes hilariously bad world of horror movies.
We'll help you understand why we love to be scared.
And maybe even convert you into a horror fan yourself.
So turn off the lights, close the basement door,
and join us.
Sitting in the dark.
Ox Hare presents, in association with True Story FM, the Swashbuckling Ladies Debate Society. Today's adventure, a word to the unwise.
And 3, 2, 1. I'm sorry to report you both have strained shoulders. No physical training for the time being. You must rest and recover.
Physician, heal thyself.
What does that mean?
It means you need to take your own advice. Your right arm is bleeding. Again. Here, let me help you wrap it back up. You were hurt worse than we were, which means you need to give yourself even more time to heal.
I cannot help it. I am restless. I hate to remain idle. Whatever this symphony of suffering is, I fear it is reaching a crescendo.
All the more reason to be healthy for when the moment arrives.
Of course, you are right. Though, I hate to admit it.
We'll keep it between us.
Besides, we've plenty of work to do around here. And with Viviana and Mrs. Dumer gone, the work falls back on me. The society hasn't been this busy in months. Wonder why?
It's the turning of the leaves.
The what now?
When autumn arrives, tourists from all over travel to Massalia to see the colorful forests.
People take trips to look at trees?
They do. But with the increased attendance comes an army of food vendors, craftsmen, hotel staff,
and the criminals who prey upon all of the above. Plus the chaos which can hide those who wish to escape.
Which is where we come in. That brought up a memory.
Of our trip to Ireland?
Yes!
I was thinking of the same thing.
What a wonderful mind you have, and quite the spectacular case you carry it around in.
You know, just because we can't practice sword fighting doesn't mean we can't exercise our brains.
I like where this is heading.
We've got an amazing library. Let's spend a week trading books. We each read something another of us recommends.
This is my kind of game.
And I'll start.
No.
What is it?
I'm afraid you've fallen for one of Goldie's schemes.
Who? Moi?
She's been attempting to get me to read this book that she and Ursula have been raving about.
It's so good.
You know that romance novels are not on my enjoyment list. All this nonsense about who can date whom. Look at the way I turned my fan. What would the neighbors say? Burk.
It's more than that. Plus, it's super dirty.
How dirty? No, I know that I'll have to wade through so many long paragraphs of will he, won't he, before he actually does.
What book is this?
What are we talking about?
Lady Voss?
It doesn't matter. What I have to say is more important.
When most people return from a long absence, one chiefly populated by silence, they begin with a greeting.
Ugh. Fine. Saffron, Zinnia, Goldie, it's good to see you again.
And you as well. We hadn't heard the ill news had made a return.
I've worked hard to keep my movements secret. But, befitting the name of my train, I come with grim tidings.
First off, very happy to see you. You look great. Second, what is the dire news?
I know who your mysterious menace is.
You know F's identity?
I do. And her name doesn't start with F, but we'll get to all of that.
Well, I'd like to get to that now, please.
Unfortunately, something much more dangerous is on its way, and it's moving at a much more rapid pace. But I see you're ahead of the game. You already have the book.
The book? What book?
This book? Of course. That's why I'm here.
I am confused.
What does all of this have to do with the amorous adventures of Valentine Vixen by Lady X?
What did you say?
Yeah, that's the book I've been trying to get Zinnia to read. But what's the big deal? No one even knows who wrote it.
Don't they?
Wait. You're Lady Rowan Voss. Are you telling us that you are Lady X?
No. Actually, I am. I'm going to need a little more than tea to get through this.
It's Irish coffee, my special blend. I think we'll all need it.
Whew. My Irish eyes are smiling now. Okay, so much to unpack here. Saffron, you published a book?
No. No. I wrote a book, but I never published it. It's locked up tight in the upstairs study.
I can assure you, it is not.
I can't believe this. Please don't look at me like that.
I can't help it. Saffron, that book is
dirty, disgusting, lurid, smut.
No, listen. Ursula loved it before she even gave it to me. We've been trading our favorite passages back and forth.
Where did she get it?
From her book club?
Her book club? Where did they get it?
From the store. Saffron, it's all over Massalia. And probably wider than that by now.
Much wider.
Oh, this is terrible. It was just something I was trying out, exorcising some demons. It wasn't ever meant for anyone else to read. I'm so humiliated.
Don't be.
My love, you aren't saying anything. Are you ashamed of me?
Saffron, I need to tell you. I'm so proud of you.
You what?
You've long dreamed of writing something that reaches people. I've seen you up at night, scratching away with those pages. I knew in time you would reveal your work to me.
But not like this.
We have little choice when the world turns its eye upon us. Like it or not, the spotlight has found you.
But I wanted my first work to be something of literary value, not bawdy tales of romantic encounters.
And who are you to say what is of literary value? I am a member of the aristocracy, lest we forget, and I myself am a great admirer of art that is considered pornographic. I consider it my obligation to keep such things safe from the prudish whimsies of the current times.
Your library must be filthy.
It is.
Could I,
Goldie, you have a library card for life.
Can we get back to my ritual humiliation?
Ah, yes. That brings us to the timing of my arrival.
Who is F?
We'll get there, but all in due time. Your problem isn't with her, but with the law of unintended consequences.
the who what now?
Your mysterious F snuck into these very walls, found your book, and had it published under the name Lady X.
Why?
To humiliate you, of course. Knock you back. Get you distracted while she taught you another lesson.
She was here in our house?
If it's any consolation, you weren't at home. It was while you were experimenting with recreational pharmaceuticals.
The lucidity.
Call it what you will. We all get our kicks in different flavors.
That's not how it happened. And it is a trip we will not take again.
You said something about unintended consequences?
I did. Gold star to you for getting us back on track. Your teacher's plan was just to air your dirty laundry in public, and that was the end of it. But that wasn't the end of it.
Put out your line to catch a minnow, and sometimes you hook a barracuda.
Or in your case, a shark. Have you ever heard of the illustrious Quill?
We haven't.
Be grateful. They are a mysterious group with deep pockets and one aim: moral purity. Anyone that doesn't fit their standards gets, well,
lightly chastised?
Utterly destroyed.
Yeah, that's kind of what I figured.
But unlike your friends in Deuteronomy, it is not one public execution. They believe in death by 1,000 cuts.
Do we not have enough wounds already?
They systematically dismantle your life, removing you from all support, comfort, and assistance before they finally kill you at the depths of your despair.
Well, they sound lovely.
And I suppose Valentine Vixen doesn't quite meet their standards. Good thing they don't know I wrote it.
Well,
Lady Voss, they don't know that Saffron is Lady X, do they?
I took the liberty of looking through your mail.
That is private.
I'm a snoop. Get over it. According to her correspondence, your friend Cynthia is doing very well in Wales. Even found a new beau. Also, there's a letter from your bank. I'm afraid you're broke.
I'm what?
Your trust has been seized, your accounts frozen, suspicious behavior in the movement of money. You should be grateful you own the property in which we are standing, or they'd be throwing you out of it.
I'm poor?
Welcome to the club.
Oh, Saffron, I can't imagine what you must be feeling right now.
I'm not sure. I thought that would hit me harder, but it doesn't. Honestly, I'm still too embarrassed about Valentine Vixen to feel any worse.
So what do we do?
We give up, denounce the book, burn all the copies?
What? No.
The book was never meant to get out. It is stolen property. We chalk it up to bad karma, throw ourselves on their mercy, and try to put our lives back together.
Saffron?
May I speak my piece?
I suppose so.
Saffron, I'm sure your lovely wife is going to make an appeal to comfort your emotional state, and then Goldie will chime in with a heartfelt plea for revenge.
That's pretty accurate, actually.
All worthy, necessary tactics, but I want to appeal to another part of your assembly. Your conscience.
Go on.
I've been tracking these miscreants for years now. They're very good at being very bad, and this is the closest I've ever come to them. What they're doing to you, they've done to numerous others, and will continue to do so until they are stopped. To cut to the quick, this isn't just about you.
What do you know?
Not as much as I'd like. From what I've learned, it's being led by two people at the top. Their identities are unknown. Below them are just unwitting dupes, pawns in their schemes.
This is not sounding promising.
But your situation provides us with a unique opportunity. We jump ahead on their timeline, make a move they'd never expect. They'll have to appear to get their plan back on track.
So you are using me as bait.
Attractive bait. It certainly worked on me.
Hush you. But to what end?
One thing in our favor is that the illustrious Quill are incredibly diligent about their record keeping.
So there's a paper trail.
Exactly. They keep detailed notes on what they did, to whom, and when. They call it their Liber Peccatorum. It lists all of their sins and all of their sinners. Finding these criminals is crucial, but finding these volumes is of paramount importance.
And where are these books?
With them, unfortunately. It is said they never travel far from them.
Which means if we reveal them, their grimoires will also be unearthed.
Precisely. Acquiring such a prize should be with some level of discomfort, yes?
Lady Voss, what exactly are you asking me to do?
Oh, my dear, you're really, really not going to like it.
I hate this. I hate this so much.
What are you talking about? Everything is going wonderfully.
It's so many people.
When Rowan put out the word that the mysterious Lady X was going to be doing her first ever appearance and signing, we never anticipated we'd fill the store.
It's so many people.
And all here to appreciate the talent of an amazing author who is secretly my adorable wife.
And I can't believe I just did that. I read a passage from my book in public to strangers. I've never spoken some of those words out loud before.
And they were more than receptive. Some were positively titillated. Is this the right word?
It is.
So rare that a word describing something dirty sounds dirty itself. Titillated. This is a good word.
Have we heard anything from Goldie?
Not yet. She and Lady Voss are still on their secret mission to track down the books of secrets.
I don't know if I can keep this up.
Your disguise looks wonderful. If I didn't know it was you, I wouldn't have guessed.
This isn't really my style.
But this is exactly the point. And Goldie did a wonderful job with it.
She did. I would never have picked Gothic Bride for my look. All black lace and herringbone. It's quite form-fitting.
And what a fit. What a form.
This is working for you?
The dark veil is a bit much, but the rest of it adds to the alluring mystery of this poet of pornography. What dark fantasies is she thinking of?
Town girl. You're my assistant right now.
And I am here to provide whatever my mistress requires.
You're being quite helpful, but my nerves are coming back. What do I have to do next?
In a moment, we will re-emerge and you will answer questions from your adoring fans. Then everyone will line up for the signing.
I don't know if I can pull this off.
This is not the first time you have played a role.
I suppose not, but it just feels different this time.
How so?
Before I was performing to save my life, but this is my work, my words. It's so personal. How do I answer questions about it without revealing anything about myself?
Because it is not you that will be answering, but Lady X. She is mysterious, alluring. She teases and entices. She lets their imagination do the work.
Yes, I understand. Oh, I can do this. With you by my side, I can do anything.
In that case, it's showtime. Your beloved Lady X will answer a few questions before she sends your books. Please be respectful, or else. Comprenez-vous? Now, who has a question?
Where do you get your ideas?
Oh my, a big question right out of the gate. The short answer is I listen. Stories are all around us, and little bits will grab my attention, and I hold on to them. Maybe it happened to me or to someone else, or something terrible almost happened. My mind will perk up and say, what if that happened to my main character? What if what went right suddenly went wrong? Eventually, you train your brain to notice the odd bits.
How did you know your book was done?
Oh, that's funny. Because the answer is never. You never really feel like the book is done. You can always think of one more scene, one more sentence, one more rewrite. But sometimes the moment comes, fate intervenes, and suddenly it's out there and you have to live with it as it is. Your part is done, and now it's up to the audience. And that part is hard and it's scary. But a story only comes alive when you share it.
When did you know you wanted to be a writer?
That's a more complicated answer. Always and never. I've been thinking up stories in my head, but never thought they'd be interesting to anyone but me. But one day, a character refused to leave me alone. She demanded that I tell her tales, and I think you know who that was. Some characters are carefully crafted, sculpted, polished to perfection before they are revealed. Others just escape. Valentine Vixen broke out, and now she's on the run. In Lust We Trust. Lady X. There you go. Enjoy it. How are we doing?
I thought you did wonderfully up there. Looks like we're about halfway through the line. Did you need a break?
Are you joking? I've waited my whole life for this moment. I'm not stopping now.
I'm so glad to hear it. Hello, mademoiselle. What name would you like on this book?
Goldie.
My, what a lovely name.
Thank you. Lady X, I'm so excited to meet you in person.
Why, thank you. Goldie, did you say?
Yes, ma'am. It's short for marigold.
Like the flower. I've often found people named after beautiful things are the most beautiful on the inside.
Oh my. I just wanted to tell you how much I love your book.
Oh, thank you. That's very kind.
No, listen to me. Some people might be embarrassed to write down some of the things that are in here. Maybe they were raised by emotionally stunted, manipulative parents who never let their kid really express themselves.
I've heard of such things.
And sometimes people raised like that still feel those pressures and expectations long after those unkind people are out of their lives. But not you.
I suppose not.
I've had to do a lot of pretending in my line of work, but anyone who really knows me knows when I'm telling the truth. Those kind of people would be able to look in my eyes and know that I mean it when I say, this is one of my all-time favorite books.
Yes, I can see that you believe that.
You'd think it would be the sex scenes, and there are a lot of sex scenes. I mean, a lot.
Yes. Yes, there are.
And they are hot, scorching, some stuff I'd never even heard of.
I'm glad you enjoyed them.
But that's not what makes this book great.
It isn't?
You think all these people showed up just because of the naughty stuff? No! It's the characters. Valentine Vixen has an engine that's always revving.
Was she based on any person in your life? A particularly attractive woman, perhaps?
Sure, she makes mistakes, maybe jumps into bed a little too quickly or throws a punch too soon. But she's also kind, brave, helps those who can't help themselves.
I was hoping someone would notice that.
I did. We all did. That's why all these people showed up, to tell you that you did a great job and you should be proud of this book.
I am proud of it.
Good. You know, I was recently working on a very important project. It wouldn't take quite as long as writing a book, but it is taking much longer than I expected.
Is that so?
Yeah, it's with a friend of mine. You can't see her right now, but she came with me. She's also a fan.
That's very nice to hear. This project of yours, you were saying?
Oh, right. It's taking longer than we hoped, but we know that just like you never gave up on becoming a writer, we shouldn't give up either.
No, you definitely shouldn't.
We're just going to need a little more time. I thought you should know that.
I appreciate the insight and everything you said. I heard it all.
I'm glad. Well, I should be going. I'm holding up the line.
Oh, don't forget your book. I wrote something in there for you.
Thank you so much. Lady X, keep writing.
I will.
Seems like you have quite a fan there.
Yes, I do. You know, my wrist is starting to hurt. Maybe a break would be a good idea.
Please wait. We're next, and I'm afraid we're on a bit of a tight schedule.
We don't mean to be a bother. Can you squeeze my wife and I in before we step away?
It would mean ever so much to us.
Of course. Anything for my fans.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much.
To whom should I make this out?
I'm Jill, and this is my husband, Jack.
Jack and Jill.
Oh, I know. Believe me, we've heard it all before. Hey, Jill, would you like a pail of water?
Only if you promise to not fall down and break your crown.
Sure.
When I originally met him, it was like, what? No, we can't.
But then we realized, what if this was fate giving us a little nudge?
More like a shove in my case.
And we thought, some things are just go together naturally.
Apples and oranges.
Bacon and eggs.
Saffrons and zinnias.
Bacon and eggs.
Peanut butter and jelly.
You're the jelly.
No, you are.
My, you two are certainly on the same page.
We are, aren't we?
In order to make a marriage last, you have to be.
Are you married?
I'm married to my work.
And why wouldn't you be?
Ambitious career gal like yourself. No time for traditional values like making a stable home. You've got stories to tell.
What?
Jill just means you're working so hard. Must be tough on those around you.
Is that what I mean?
I think it almost has to be, or my name's not Jack.
So you've read the book?
We most certainly have. The minute I finished it, I said to my husband, I said, Jack, you need to pop your peepers onto this tale.
And I'm so glad you did, Jill.
And you enjoyed it?
We had a question about it, if you don't mind.
Not at all.
Where do you get, how do I say this? Jack?
I'll take this one. Where do you get the gall to peddle this filth?
Excuse me?
Huh. It seems like her ears have been fine for this whole chit-chat, and suddenly now they've stopped working. That seem odd, Jack?
It certainly does, Jill. It seems like the moment the vile brain that spewed forth this corruption was challenged, she suddenly folded.
Like a house of cards?
Jill, that is just what I was thinking. You've done it again.
What can I say? I get all my best ideas from my hubby.
If my writing is not to your taste, we're in a bookshop. I'm sure you could find something much more your speed.
I expect that would take quite a while.
Best you get started then.
Oh, I think I see the problem. You believe this is just about us, our tastes, our standards.
I can see where the confusion is coming in. You see, we're much more civically minded. It's bad enough that your terrible writing has wounded our sensibilities, but we're looking at a much bigger picture.
That's right, Jack. I mean, we must think of the children.
We can't take the chance of an impressionable young mind happening upon this corrupting influence.
What's that thing your father always said, Jack?
He said, always drink upstream from the herd.
That's right, and it's what we try to do. And we thought to ourselves, that cow is still there in the water doing its business.
Just another dumb animal that doesn't see how it's hurting those farther down the line.
And I said, what can two moral, upright people do about a problem like that?
And then I said, well, I'm quite partial to steak. The bloodier, the better.
And if I were to use the term illustrious quill in my next book...
My, what an interesting turn of phrase.
Sounds like a name that someone took a long time to come up with after going through a list of possible candidates.
It sure does. It has a vague but menacing feel to it, but also shows a high level of education on display.
And did you notice that it abbreviates as IQ?
That's downright ingenious, and we could all use a bit more ingenuity, what with the way this world is heading.
You are so right, Jack. I heard about this high society lady that had all her assets seized because of some disturbing criminal connections.
That's so terrible to hear. You think someone of the upper crust would be a little bit more careful with whom they associate.
Good breeding doesn't always make for good people, Jack.
That's sadly true, Jill. Why, I heard that the government has been looking for some troublemakers who have been eluding law enforcement. Some of them are even refugees.
Oh, that word makes me shudder. Why, if someone was harboring a fugitive from justice, then our hard-working constabularies would have no choice but to break down the doors and drag those people to justice.
And I believe if a building were used for criminal activities, our noble government would have no choice but to seize it.
How awful. Can you imagine it, Jack? Losing your money, then your reputation, then your home? Why, I don't know if I could even go on living.
I'll take you up on that offer.
Lady Rowan Voss, what are you doing here?
Jack and Jill Stoltz. I should have known you'd find a way to weaponize your prudishness.
Surely you're not a fan of this filth.
Actually, I am. But that's not what brings me here today.
Move now, please. Oh my!
Even heavier than it looks.
And, what might that be?
This, a collection of rare books that I just picked up for a song.
A song?
Less of a song, more of a stab. I was a really big guy. Armored suit, well trained.
What happened to Tobias? If that happened to have been his name, hypothetically.
Unfortunately, he fell victim to something that has brought many men low.
Lust?
No, a slash to his Achilles tendon.
Negotiations went pretty quick after that.
I see.
Do you? Because here we are, surrounded by fantastical stories, and now I've added quite a page-turner to the collection. It's about lies, corruption, murder, and a powerful family brought down by their own vices.
Sounds like quite the saga.
I think it's time for you two to leave.
We aren't going anywhere.
It wasn't a request.
It's still a free country. You can't make us go.
But I can.
How's that?
Because I own the place. This is my bookstore.
You do?
Of course. You didn't really think the store's owner was named Paige Turner.
Well, when you say it out loud.
Fine then. You proved your point. We'll just take what's ours and go. Jack, the crate.
Yes, dear.
So you're saying this belongs to you?
You know it does.
And I say it's mine. I bought it from a man out front. He's easy to find. He's the one with the limp. Shall we take it to the courts to sort out? Of course, they'll need to examine the contents to make a determination. All of that information added to the public record, which is fine by me.
You've made powerful enemies today.
Oh, we've been enemies for a long time. Glad to finally put a face to the hate.
We still have plenty of resources at our disposal. Things for you and your friends are about to get much, much worse.
It's a good threat, very impassioned, and I believe that you believe it. It's just, I wonder.
Wonder what?
Goldie, let's say you have a vast amount of sensitive information about what you've done and to whom you've done it.
Right, I'm with you.
You wouldn't be so foolish as to also have all your banking information in the same place, would you?
Of course not. What's that saying about eggs in baskets?
You think we'd be that foolish?
Well, actually...
Actually what? You didn't.
It was the most convenient place.
Jack, you're an idiot.
Jill, you're a shrew.
And you're both broke. I'd run home while you still have a home to run to.
Oh man, I am white. Tobias was no joke. Can we head home now?
Of course. It's just, I was hoping I could...
Mesdames, I'm not sure what this was all about, but now that it is concluded, Lady X would like to finish her book signing.
Is that true?
Well, I wouldn't want to disappoint my fans. Any of them.
Then let's get this trunk out of the way and keep this line moving.
Right. Who's next?
Make it a double for me, Goldie. Thank you, darling. Well, that's 2 names crossed off my to thwart list. Thank you, ladies.
It was our pleasure.
Was it?
Not at first, but because of you, of all of you, believing in me, I really did enjoy myself.
And how did Lady X feel?
The same.
Does that mean the veil is coming off?
Oh no. I've already lived a double life as Saffron and as Madame Egalité. Why not add a third? I'm out and proud, but I don't really want my extended family knowing about this part of my life.
Your secrets are safe with us.
Are they?
Of course. I have no ill wishes towards any of you. You've done a great service for me. And to the world. To the world! It wasn't actually a toast, but I'll take it.
It's just a shame that we've seen the end of Valentine Vixen. I mean, what was going on with that lighthouse?
And who was the woman on the rooftop?
And will she confess her true feelings to Desdemona?
Wait, Zinnia, you've read my book?
I started on it. I wanted to find out what all the fuss was about. And it was worthy of all of the struggle and more. I love it.
You do?
I absolutely do. I recognize some things I've told you about and some things we've done.
Which parts? No, sorry, I shouldn't ask.
I'll ask. Some mysteries must remain mysteries.
Damn.
I'm not all the way through it, as I don't read in English very quickly.
That's fine. Take your time.
I was hoping you'd be willing to read it to me.
Of course I would.
In private, of course.
Double that.
But I do have some good news on that front. That wasn't the last adventure for Valentine.
It wasn't?
No. She's been quite active.
I'll say.
And I've continued chronicling her amorous adventures.
You have?
I have. In fact, I'm nearly done with volume 4.
Wait. You're telling me there's 2 brand new Valentine Vixen novels in this house right now?
Yes. Let me out them. They're not done.
Fine. Fine. I can wait. But when you need beta readers, I'm your gal. Got it?
Got it. But speaking of tales to tell, I believe a bargain was struck.
So it was. You want to know what I know about your tormentor?
Yes. Tell us what you know about F.
I will. But I'll need you to tell me a story first.
Ugh. Is that deal still running?
Always. But in this case, it's for specific reasons. Saffron, Zinnia, I need you to tell me about your honeymoon.
Even I don't know this story.
Some things should be kept private.
I'm not here for the lurid details.
You might not be.
But I wouldn't ask if it wasn't important.
Zinnia?
Let us tell them. It was quite a time.
In that case, I believe it's time to open the whiskey. You know which bottle.
That I do.
Whew, that was worth the wait. All right then, I hate to be cliche, but it was a dark and stormy night.
Season 5, Episode 8, A Word to the Unwise, was written, directed, and edited by Kyle Olson. Starring Amy Shaw as Zinnia, Anastasia Plum as Saffron, Cara Gallo as Goldie, hey, that's me, BJ Garrett as Jack, Shelley Trujillo as Jill, and Chrissy Lenz as Lady Voss. Our theme song is written and performed by Headley Knights, and our interstitial music is Intended Force by Kevin MacLeod. Make sure to follow us on Instagram or Blue Sky at Ox Hare so you won't miss the next thrilling adventure. The Swashbuckling Ladies Debate Society is an Ox Hare media production. Old format, new ideas.